Howdy, this is Lemmy with RevZilla, here to talk to you today about the Memphis Shades Road Warrior fairing for Harley. You should be looking into a Memphis Shades Road Warrior fairing for your bike if you're looking for an exceedingly versatile fairing. Now, Memphis Shades is currently making these for a couple different motorcycles. We're seeing them largely for 41mm front ends. I think stylistically, we're probably going to see these mostly on Dynas and Softails. Now, installation on these is not particularly difficult. I'm going to call this either a difficult one-bearder or an easy two-bearder on our beard scale of difficulty. Kind of depends on what kind of bike you're working with and sort of what you're looking to put on your motorcycle. We'll get into installation in just a little bit. First, though, let's talk about the Memphis Shades Road Warrior fairing. Now, Memphis Shades has obviously been in the fairing and windshield game for a really long time. They're arguably the preeminent motorcycle manufacturer of both windscreens as well as fairings for Harley-Davidson motorcycles. They make phenomenal products, and everything they design really is part of a system. We'll talk about that in just a second too. But when we're looking specifically at the Road Warrior fairing, this might look familiar to some of you, and that's because this thing bites a lot of that T style. When I say T and Harley E's, a T bike generally was something that was sort of a scaled back tour, a light touring bike. So think FXRT, think Dyna T Sport. It's kind of biting that bigger than a bikini fairing, but not quite a full fairing look. So if you're not a million years old and you're not ready for a Batwing or a shark nose fairing just yet, however, you do want a little bit of functionality from your setup, just a bikini fairing for looks isn't going to cut it. Something like the Road Warrior is probably going to be right up your alley. To me, this is one of the most versatile shields in their lineup, specifically because this thing can be fitted with several different windscreens, allowing you different protection. So you can see in front of me here, we have obviously a very short tinted windscreen. This is going to be great for those of you who are looking for sort of that club style bike. You just want that aggressive look. However, this can easily swap out for, say, a taller windshield, also offered for this particular fairing by Memphis Shades. You can get these things pretty tall. I mean, you can get yourself a nice clean pocket of air. It really does kind of make for an easy switch. If you're planning on taking your cool guy bike on a long haul, you'll still be comfortable. Now, a couple things to note here about this with respect to the fairing itself. Now, this is obviously a pretty good looking piece here. You should be aware though, this is how this comes in the box. You may see light scratching. You may see sort of this thing picking up a little bit of damage. And the reason is because it's not intended to run like this. These are actually meant to be painted. So you're going to want to consider that and the associated costs or labor with the paint job when you're thinking about picking one of these out for your motorcycle. That having been said, you can see obviously that finish on here is very, very nice. I have seen people successfully run these without painting them. Just keep in mind they are designed to be painted. Now, something else to consider too is you're going to have to select a shield. Now, you should know about these shields. These things are made of lucite. They provide superior optical clarity to other types of polymers on the market. Lucite is definitely going to be the one you want if you happen to be a rider who looks through your shield as opposed to over it. Now, again, you can see obviously these are in different finishes, different heights. You're going to want to select something there. Now, speaking of selection, you're going to need potentially 4 components if you're picking one of these out for your motorcycle. The first piece you're going to buy obviously is the fairing itself. The second piece that we just talked about, again, is one of the windshields or perhaps multiples if you know that you're going to want to switch up. The other 2 items that come into play here are potentially a headlight remounting block. So when you pop one of these onto your bike, your headlight may sit too far recessed to kind of look okay here. So Memphis Shades also offers headlight relocation blocks for select applications that move that headlight out a little bit farther into the fairing to take up that space and kind of give it a little bit more cogent, cohesive look. The other piece you're going to have to think about, and this is probably the most important of the whole bunch, is how you're going to actually attach this to your motorcycle. So Memphis Shades uses this really innovative clamp mounting system. These things pop right onto your bike. If you don't already have a set of these, you'll need to order these, and you can order them with the plates that will help mount the fairing actually to the fork itself. Now, if you happen to already have a Memphis Shades item, this is where things get kind of cool. Memphis Shades offers a whole system. So what you can do to save money is buy just a plates only kit. So if you see that term, plates only, that's assuming you have the clamps already on your bike because you already own another Memphis Shades product. Again, they're trying to save you a couple bucks there. And again, if you stay within the Memphis Shades family, it makes getting different, windshields and fairings on and off your bike very, very simple, very, very quick. So now let's run into installation. Like I said, you're looking at probably a difficult 1 or an easy 2, depending on what kind of bike you have here. Again, if you need to move your headlight, that adds a little bit of difficulty to the job. You do, again, need to consider getting this puppy painted, matching it up to your existing paint in order, again, to provide sort of a finished look to your motorcycle. But as far as the actual nuts and bolts installation of things, it's really pretty simple. When I do these, I usually like to get everything in place loosely on the bike. I'll install the plates very loosely, or I'm sorry, the clamps very loosely. I'll install the plates very loosely, and then again, the fairing kind kind of on top, and I sort of snug everything up as I go, taking a couple rounds, tightening up each fastener as I go to provide a nice centered, even look so that thing looks like it was born on the motorcycle. It's not very difficult. It can be just slightly time consuming. Again, I think for most people who've never done this before, if you allot yourself an hour or two to get the job done, you should be very, very satisfied with the results, and all you're going to need is standard hand tools in order to do this job. If it's not evident, I really like Memphis Shades products. They look great, they work really well, and again, I think that mounting system they have is probably one of the best in the business. Don't take my word for it though. Read some other rider reviews, folks who are running a Memphis Shades product on their bike similar to yours. Now, if you have any questions beyond that I didn't answer in this video or you didn't get from another rider, don't be afraid to call up one of our very friendly gear geeks. 877-792-9455 will get you one on the telling bone. Of course, you can always send us an email to cs@revzilla.com. I'm Lemmy. I'm out of here.